Welcome everybody to an updated half-ass review. That's right, here on the channel we like to take products and review them, tell you how we feel, if they're worth the money, and then actually try them out and use them and then come back and give you an update. So this series of videos we're going to do an update on some products that I bought back in January. I got myself a Vibe Yellowfin 120, and the reason I did so is I wanted a kayak that I could stand up and do sight fishing on. So I looked around, found the Vibe Yellowfin 120, picked it up, was happy with it, but it needed some upgrades. And we originally made these purchases starting in January of 2023. And so on this first video, we're going to give you an update on the durability, the quality, and the longevity of the deck matting that we got for our Vibe Yellowfin 120. One of the things I like about the Yellowfin 120 is it is designed to stand up on. First upgrade is I bought the aftermarket matting that goes on here. So the first thing we're going to need to do is clean off the sand and all these bugaboos and get the boat cleaned up. Now in the interest of time, I'm going to speed up this video. The key to applying the deck padding is first cleanliness. Take a shop vac, suck out all the dirt, all the sand, get some alcohol, Windex, something. Really clean the surface of the kayak really well before applying the adhesive. Next, take your pieces, simply lay them out on the boat. Figure out where they go, get it kind of organized, and then simply take off the backing one at a time and slowly apply the decking to the kayak. It's super easy. If you've had any experience putting stickers on a car, putting stickers on a model, they're essentially giant stickers. Once again, take your time, apply pressure evenly, you're good to go. The nice thing about the padding, I've had multiple kayaks without any deck padding on them, and your feet sits on the hard plastic, water gets on there, sand gets on there, and after spending hours sitting on a hot plastic deck, you feel like you're sitting on a hot plastic deck. It's amazing the quality of, I don't want to say luxury, but the improvement of just the environment of sitting on a kayak all day with nice quality deck padding below your feet. It truly does help, and I will say I'm fishing in Florida. I've been on my kayak for 5-6 hours in the hot sun. Even though they're black, the deck padding does not get hot. You don't burn your feet. You don't feel heat radiating off of them. And besides, if they do get a little warm, simply put your feet in the water, splash the water onto the padding, and it will cool them off. But once again, you don't notice any heat. I will say the deck padding does provide, whether it's subconscious, whether it's reality. I did use my kayak to sight fish before I bought the deck padding, and maybe it's subconscious as I said before, but with the deck padding on there, you do feel a little more secure. You don't have the thought of slipping in the back of your mind. And so it does in fact make sight fishing and standing on your kayak out in the sun and out in the water, it makes it more comfortable, and like I said, perhaps subconsciously, it just feels more safe. One of my concerns when I got the deck padding is I was wondering how they would stand up to the wear and tear of fishing. You know, it's one thing just to have these for a leisure kayak where you're out paddling around all day having a good time. That's one thing, but when you're landing fish on the deck of your boat, you got sharp dorsal fins, you got treble hooks, you got regular circle hooks, different lures landing on that deck matting. There was concern when I applied it of my treble hooks for my whopper ploppers going to get stuck. Are they going to snag? Are they going to tear? And the answer is no. Yes, I've gotten a hook stuck into it, but you simply pull it out. It leaves no permanent mark. You'll see later in the video, I've been using these deck mats now for 8 months, and there's no tears. None of the corners are lifting. There's no fading. You don't see any wear spots from my heels. This deck padding is very, very durable.
$2.57, 2.5 pounds. Yes. Woo, look at that, boys. About time. Got on the whopper flopper too. It's only 2 pounds. She looks bigger than that, but we'll take it.
Whether your day spent in a garage, in a field, in an office, or in a kayak, 1791 Everyday Carry has something to make your carry more comfortable. Now, I will admit, bass being the sport fish that it is, in my opinion, part of the reason why it's such a great sport fish is because they don't have scales that fall out. They do leave a slight fragrance on your hand, but not as bad as gar, for example, or catfish or other species of fish. So with that caveat being said, I will say this: despite the amount of fish I've had laying on these deck pads, at no time have I come home, put my kayak away, come out the next morning and my entire garage smell like fish. The smell of the bass does not transfer, does not stick into the deck padding. I'm sure if I got on my hands and knees and really searched for it, you might find it, but it does not stick to it in a way that it radiates through your garage when you're storing your kayak, which, some people may have concerns about. So in my experience, it does not transfer odors, and there's no real smell throughout my garage because of what may have been laid down on the deck pad. So here you go. We're looking at footage I shot just yesterday. This is the shape of the deck pad after 8 months, 9 months of using it. As you can see, there's no torn corners. There's no areas lifting up. You can't see where like a corner's starting to pull up because dirt and debris, and if I'm not careful, it might peel back. There's where my feet rest all the time. You don't see any gashes or anything like that. Now, I know you're saying, I see a tear. That's actually not a tear. That actually looks like it's a soft bait or a worm of similar color to my kayak. So that is in fact not a tear in the matting, though it does kind of look like it. Now the area under the seat, this is interesting. I constantly slide in a tackle bag underneath my seat, a hard tackle tray, a plastic tray, in and out all day long. And as you see, there's no gouges, there's no wear, there's no holes. Even though it's under my seat, the fact that I'm shoving stuff in and out of there all day long while I'm fishing and there's no wear and tear just goes to show the durability of the deck pad. Here is the upgraded Vibe seat, which we'll do a story on later. And at the back of the kayak, you can see the rudder system, which is the third accessory I did. We'll cover in videos later. So there you go. Would I suggest people pay the money for the Vibe Yellowfin kayak deck padding? The answer, hands down, absolutely yes. In my mind, it is the first accessory you should get for your kayak. If you have a Vibe Yellowfin 120, do yourself a favor. Head over to vibe.com and order yourself the Vibe Yellowfin deck padding. Thank you for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, share this with a friend. Until next time, this is another half-ass review.
This has been a Digital 410 production.